Russia's military is divided over how best to counter Ukraine's unexpected battlefield advances this month, according to multiple sources familiar with U.S. intelligence, as Moscow has found itself on the defensive in both the east and the south. Russian President Vladimir Putin is himself giving directions directly to generals in the field. Two sources familiar with U.S. and Western intelligence said a highly unusual management tactic in a modern military that these sources said hints at the dysfunctional command structure that has plagued Russia's war from the beginning. Intelligence intercepts have captured Russian officers arguing among themselves and complaining to friends and relatives back home about decision-making from Moscow, one of these sources told CNN. And there are significant disagreements on strategy, with military leaders struggling to agree on where to focus their efforts to shore up defensive lines, multiple sources familiar with U.S. intelligence said. The Russian Ministry of Defense has claimed that it is redeploying forces toward Kharkiv in the northeast, where Ukraine has made the most dramatic gains, but U.S. and Western sources say the bulk of Russian troops still remain in the south, where Ukraine has also mounted offensive operations around Kherson. Putin announced a partial mobilization on Wednesday that is expected to include the call-up of up to 300,000 reservists. He has for months resisted taking that step, and Biden administration officials said Wednesday that the fact he has moved to do so now highlights the severity of Russia's manpower shortages and signals a growing desperation. It's not clear that the mobilization will make any operational difference on the battlefield, or merely prolong the length of the war without changing the outcome, according to Russian military analysts. And while Russia flails on the battlefield, officials in Moscow have scrambled to assign blame for Russia's abrupt turn in fortunes, a senior NATO official said. Kremlin officials and state media pundits have been feverishly discussing the reasons for the failure in Kharkiv, and in typical fashion, the Kremlin seems to be attempting to deflect the blame away from Putin and onto the Russian military, this person said. Already, there has been a reshuffling of military leadership in response to the battlefield failures, leaving Russia's command structure even more jumbled than it was before, sources say. The commander who oversaw the majority of the units around the Kharkiv region had been in the post only 15 days and has now been relieved of duty, the NATO official said. Russia has sent a small number of troops into eastern Ukraine, some of whom had fled amid Ukraine's battlefield advances last week, according to two U.S. defense officials, an effort to shore up its weakened defensive lines. But even if Russia is able to coalesce around a plan, U.S. and Western officials believe Russia is limited in its ability to mount a strategically significant response to Ukraine's counteroffensive operations that in recent days, sources say, has swung the momentum in Kyiv's favor. Even after the announcement of the partial mobilization, officials are skeptical that Russia is capable of quickly deploying large numbers of troops into Ukraine given its ongoing problems with supply lines, communications and morale. The small scale of the Russian redeployment is a signal of its inability to mount any serious operations, the senior defense official told CNN. Absent more manpower that, right now, it simply doesn't have, sources said Russia has few other options to penalize or push back Ukrainian forces. Putin is struggling, National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications John Kirby said in an appearance on CNN on Wednesday. Russia's military has poor unit cohesion, desertions in the ranks, soldiers not wanting to fight, Kirby said. He has terrible morale, unit cohesion on the battlefield, command and control has still not been solved. He's got desertion problems and he's forcing the wounded back into the fight. So clearly, manpower is a problem for him, Kirby said. He feels like he's on his back foot, particularly in that northeast area of the Donbass. And mobilization order is a clear sign Putin's plan isn't working.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.